What's up, everybody? Mark Moore here from Underground Martial Arts, aka The Growth Dojo. Listen, I am super excited about this tonight. Tonight's whole Facebook Live is all about the success formula to dominate the end of the decade. Do you realize that this is the end of a decade, the end of 2019? We are finishing a whole decade and we're about to move into the 2020s. Stay on this live thing tonight because what's going to happen is several things. One, my goal is to get you so excited to finish this year strong and to set some goals. So this way you can build some momentum going into the new year. And then two, I have an awesome challenge that's going to be coming out next Sunday for you guys to get you even more hyped to move forward. I got to tell you this before I start though. Calm down. That's how excited I am. Look at this. For somebody with ADHD, listen, even if you don't stay on this right now to learn about how to achieve your goals, I want you to stay on this right now just to be proud of me that I set this up. This is like amazingly organized for my attention span and ADHD. Hey gang, like I said, I'm super excited to have you guys here listening to Facebook Live. This is gonna be amazing tonight. And the reason why is because I hope that it inspires you to finish the year strong. There's one thing that I absolutely love, and that's setting goals. And the reason why is because when I was 17, I'll never forget, there was a guy named Don Palamucci, one of my good friends. He was an older guy. He came out of college, and I used to see him at the gym all the time. And he made this book called Program for Results. And when he made the book Program for Results, he used me as a guinea pig, and he taught me how to set and achieve goals. And from that point on, it was like a miracle for me because one thing that I was never good at was school and sports and really having that educational mindset for academics. But the power of goal setting, what I've always loved was, wow, here I am, and here is what I want to be. And you have the ability literally to go through that gap and achieve the thing that you want to achieve. So tonight, my goal is to help you because believe it or not, only 3% of the population actually sets and achieves goals. It's insane. So we know about it, but we never do it. And I think part of the biggest reason why is because I get stuck in it too. One of my biggest struggles is really finding that momentum or finding that thing that kind of gives you that joy, that energy, or just kind of getting yourself out of a rut because the same old keeps happening and you're not quite inspired. So my goal tonight is inspire you to take yourself to the next level. One thing I'm a master at, I believe, is setting goals. And one thing that we do on the mat is we have a success formula for our students. I mean, we get students that have depression, anxiety, autism, overweight, in shape, you name it, they have it. But the same success formula we use for everybody. So tonight, I'm gonna give you the success formula. Check it out right here. It's about to go down. It's the success formula to help you finish the end of the decade super strong. So this way you can go into 2020 with some amazing momentum. So here it is. Number one, you probably can't see it, but I can, and that's all that matters because I'm super excited. Number one, when you want to achieve something great and you want to finish this year strong, you got to ask yourself, where am I? Right now, where are you at in your life? Or what's the area that maybe you're struggling in? And it could be your fitness, it could be your health, it could be your finances, it could be your career, or maybe you just don't have quite the mojo that you're looking for to have an exciting life. So you got to ask yourself, what area in your life right now that is not at a level 10, or maybe it's the lowest area, and you got to understand where you are in that area. Now, this is what people do. They see where they are, and then they make it worse. So the goal is just to see where you are, and then the next step, which is exciting, is where do you want to be? So where do you want to be by the end of this year? If you were to think, man, I got 28 days, 4 weeks to really crush it from next Sunday to December 1st, which will be the challenge. And you got to ask yourself, here I am, where do I want to be? And once you start to see that, you start to see the clarity in, oh, okay, that I can achieve. And that clarity gives you power. And then next is going to be this. You got to be specific. So if you're thinking of a goal that you want to dominate, maybe it's a goal that in 2019 you haven't achieved. You know, for me, for about the past, I would say a little over a year, I've had this mental inspiration to want to create something that's never been created before. Here at Underground Martial Arts, we are creating what's called the Growth Dojo. And for the last year and a little bit over a year, I've been wanting to do certain things and I never got to it. And when I don't get to it, what it does, it steals my momentum and it starts to lower my confidence a little bit because it's like, man, I set the goal, I didn't get it, I set it again, and I didn't get it, and I set it again, and now it becomes something that's not exciting anymore, and I'm kind of down on myself. I don't know about you, you might have felt the same way about something else before, but since I want to say since May, I decided to make some specific goals. And as always, we all lose our momentum. And I'm just like you. I'm not invincible. I go through my highs and I go through my lows. But once I figured out where I was and then where I wanted to go, which excited me, then I start to make some specific goals. And when you make it specific, now you get that clarity. And like I said, that clarity gives you the power to step into that role and to step up your game. So you want to be able to see it. And now for me, as I've been going through the process of wanting to create this growth dojo since May, as I go through the process, the clarity gets better. And as I go through the process, the purpose gets stronger. So many people always talk about purpose. It's like, oh man, I can't find my purpose. And I've struggled with it for the longest time. But what I realized by going to different type of events and getting around other people that are better than me or getting around other people that are creating success for themselves and showing me how, which I want to do for you. But the one guy talked about, purpose is not always there, but when you go through the process, you start to find the purpose. So there's a lot of things I've been doing lately to step my game up for the Growth Dojo. And as I move forward, I keep getting the energy going, the momentum going. I keep finding stronger and stronger purpose. And it's because of the specific goal that I want to get after. Here we go, going on to number 2. Success formula to dominate the end of this decade, the MAP. And the MAP is this, massive action plan. Once you realize, bam, this is where I am. This is what I want to do. This is my specific goal. Now we got to create a map. Where are we going? You never want to go into the jungle without the map. You want to know where you're going first. So this way you have the clarity and you know what routes to take. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to help you guys out. Next Sunday, this time, this is kind of like when people go camping. I forget what it's called something when they go camping, but they don't quite climb the mountain right away. They don't get to the mountain and start climbing. Help me out if you know what it means. They don't start climbing the mountain when they get there. Base camp, that's what it is. They get to the mountain and they set up base camp. So it's about a couple days to where they kind of get acclimated to the weather. They get all their gear ready. They just don't get there and start climbing. They want to make sure that they're ready. They want to have the map, the massive action plan. How am I going to go from where I am to where I want to be to create even more clarity? So what I'm going to help you with is the 28-day dominate the end of the decade growth challenge. So next Sunday, if you want to be a part of it, just simply like this video so I don't waste your time and I want to be cheering you on. I want to be a part of your success. So like this video if you want the 28-day challenge next Sunday, and I'll include you in that video and send that out to you. But tonight at the end of this, at the bottom, I'm going to put this success formula that I'm talking about. So this way you can have it, you can print it out, you can go over it. At the success formula, it's going to talk about our black belt success formula. But black belt is just a symbol of excellence. So you don't have to, you're not making black belt, just whatever your goal is, that excellence that you want to have in your life for the end of the year. So I'll be giving you that. Number 3, here we go, moving down. Massive action. Boom, massive action. You ever hear the book, The Secret? Or if you ever read the video, The Secret? Yo, what's going on, Steve Flips? The Secret talks about the law of attraction. Man, if I think it, it'll come true. And that, I believe in it. And the universe does send things back to you. But you just can't sit around and think about it. You got to actually do things towards that thing that you're thinking about, that you're putting out into the universe. So once you have the map, you got to start taking massive action. And obviously, the more action you take, the faster you get results. So always remember, massive action equals massive results. So it's up to you. You don't have to finish the year with a dynamite bang, but it's all about setting a goal. So this way you can start to develop that momentum. So many people, they wait until January to set the goal. And when they do it, they're drunk on New Year's Eve and they forget about what their goal was. Or when they set the goal, they say about 90% of people stop their New Year's resolution on January 15th. So I don't know about you. I love being a high level achiever. I love being a goal getter. I love taking myself to the next level. Because I tell you what, I've been down, I've been stressed out, and I've been same old certain months of my life. And that sucks because you can only plateau for so long, then you start sliding back. And I know for a fact that life is so much more exciting when you're excelling at it. And for me, it's like it's become an addiction. I'm not too addicted to too many things, but setting goals and growing. And the reason why is because, like I said before, I've always struggled with having that mindset of like I'm smart enough to do certain things. And I'm standing here today in front of you on this camera. It's like I'm living my dreams. I got everything I want. And the most exciting part about that is now, like I said on camera the other day, we had WHHY TV. They came out and they said, you know, why do you do this? Because martial arts gave me such an amazing impact in my life. And you know, when you get something, you learn it. It makes you feel good. And the worst thing you can ever do is keep it to yourself. You want to share it with everyone else. So besides martial arts, another thing that I've always been addicted to and always studied and researched and went away and spent so much money to learn it from other people is goal setting. And goals give you energy, man. They make your life so much more exciting when you're excelling at it. So your massive action doesn't have to be totally crazy insane. Just achieve something small maybe in the next 28 days. It doesn't have to be massive because what happens, that momentum starts to build and you start to get your power back. You start to get your confidence back in what you're trying to accomplish. Here we go. Number 4, results rule. At the end of the game, it doesn't matter how hard you play. All that matters is the top of the board is if you won or not. Your points are going to say you won or they didn't win. So recapping, where are you? Where do you want to be? What's the specific goal? From there, let's create an action plan. And you're going to get a 28-day action plan from me, like I said, next Sunday. And on it, what it's going to say is, man, what's your dominant goal? What's the goal that you want to dominate the decade with? And then it's going to give you your weekly outline on the things that you got to achieve to take over week 1. So it'll break it down into 4 steps. And every week you'll have certain action steps. So you have that clear map and that clear vision to really attack the end of the year goal. Massive action, massive results. Like I said, action is everything. Results rule. So I took that off too soon. So results rule. You want to see, man, do I got some points on the board? And my Dali Dojo planner that we just created, we have the prototypes out right now that we're working on. And at the end of each week, there's a scoreboard. You get to literally see, man, look what I did. Because so many times we focus on what I didn't do, what didn't get done. But there's a lot of great things that are going on in your life. And you want to give yourself that attaboy, that pat on the back. There was a story about an Olympic athlete. I forget who it was. He hurt himself. And then when he hurt himself, he was out of the Olympics. And then he was in the next Olympics. When he was in, after he fully recovered, he won like several gold medals. And then they did an interview on him. They're like, hey, how do you feel? Like, do you feel great about yourself achieving these medals? And he says, listen, I've always been successful. He's like, these gold medals are great, but my parents, every night before I went to bed, they would always make me talk about my successes. So there's always something in your day that is happening well. And I heard this the other day. If you have a fantastic day, great. But if you have a crappy day, we can call it a shit-tastic day. I love that. So even though maybe it was a crappy day, there is something in there that was good. So always give yourself that rule, results rule, that points on the board, like that Olympic athlete. Remind yourself of the successes. Measure and manage. So that means this. If I'm seeing the successes, I want to measure it, I want to manage it, which goes back to your specific goal. If you can't measure it, you can't manage. You want to be able to say, wow, there are the points that I got. This is what's working, which brings us to number 5. Continue what works. Awesome. I did this, this, and this, and it went well. We'll do it again. You know what I made a mistake on so many times? Hey, remember that one thing we did? It worked so well that we stopped doing it. You know, you forget about your old successes and you don't want to do that because your old successes leave clues for you to know what to do now. Because there was a time in your life that you were excelling at something and you were probably doing certain things that got you to excel. We all know, what does it take to lose weight? You were probably working out. You were eating better. What does it take to make more money? You were probably saving and you were focused on goals that would bring in more income. If you were having a great relationship, what were you doing? You were making contact as much as you can. You were going on dates. You were doing certain things with that group that made it awesome. So success leaves clues. So you want to continue what works. But like Einstein says, change what doesn't. You know, what's insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Hey, I want to say thank you so much for you guys listening in, because you don't know how much this helps me. I'm trying to step out my comfort zone and doing more of this stuff, because I realize we have so many people that kind of contact and reach out to us that they want to be a part of their programming. They can't because of the distance. But what they want out of our program, which all of our students always talk about, the energy, the positivity, the goal setting, the mental mindset that allows them to improve their lives. So if you can't be a part of our program, I at least want to give you that to take yourself to the next level, because success is the mindset. So with that being said, if you like this video below, what I'm going to do is next week, because you like it tells me that you want more of this. Next Sunday, I'm going to do another live Facebook video, and it's going to be on the 28-day growth challenge to dominate the end of this decade. So it's the formula that I just went over that I'm going to post below, where you'll be able to get the formula. Just go to it, print it out, put it up, and start getting your mind focused. Let's hit the base camp right now. Like I said earlier, you don't just start climbing the mountain. You get to the base camp first, and you start mapping out what you want to do. You start to get your mindset ready for what's about to happen. So the success formula will give you that mindset. And then the rest of this week, what I want you to really start doing is dissecting your life a little bit. You know, there's 5 main areas in your life. There's relationships, there's career, there's finances, there's contribution, there's goals. So in those areas, which one would you say is like your weakest area? To whereas if you improve that area, it'll make everything else even better. So this whole week, start thinking about what area that you would like to improve, or an old goal that you have, or maybe something that you want to do in 2020. And if you started doing it now, oh man, it would just give you so much great emotion and momentum and positivity and joy in your life that when you hit January 1st, it's like, boom, you're already out the gates fast and furious. So this whole week, start thinking about it. Start going over the formula on what you'll have to do when you get the 28-day growth challenge sheet. Hey, you guys are awesome. Post any questions at the bottom or any way I can help. Please inbox me. I am here to serve. You guys are awesome. Coach Moore here from Underground Martial Arts, AKA The Growth Dojo. Remember, we're still in Rocktober, the 1% challenge. And I'm fired up. I got X's every day. I'm looking at the board over there right now. So many of our students have X's on the board. I got the Italian Stallion shirt on right now. We're moving into week 4, which is Rocky 4. Can you tell me who is the opponent in Rocky 4? What's another question? That was an easy question. Rocky 4 opponent. The song that is being played when he gets into the Porsche. After he looks up at Adrian, and she's like, that's my favorite part. I always think it's Jamie talking to me. She's at the top of the stair, and she's like, you can't win. Oh, man, speaking about winning, we got to get points on the board. And when she said that to him, it was like the eyes came into him, and all of a sudden he got into that Porsche. He hit the first gear. Which song played in Rocky 4 after she said, you can't win, and he gets into the Porsche? You tell me that, and I'll give you a double high five emoji. Hey, you guys rock. I look forward to hanging out with you all week, seeing what your goals are, kicking some butt, running fast, kicking ass. Let's get after it. You rock.